Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. Thank you for joining us. Today, we're here to discuss the Raydylyo, the new standard in vial capping. I'd like to start by saying a big thank you to Sarah for helping support and organise today's session. Along with mention that Adelphi is the proud distributor of the Raydylyo, and we believe this bolsters our portfolio and further highlights our commitment to delivering innovative solutions to the pharmaceutical industry. Before we start, I'd also like to mention that we will be taking questions using the chat function today. So if you have any questions throughout the webinar, please feel free to list them in the chat function, and either ourselves or Raymond will get back to you within 48 hours. I'd now like to pass over to Sarah, who will be leading today's session. So without further ado, please take it away, Sarah.
Thank you very much, Luke. Thank you for welcoming us to this webinar today. I'll dive right in. Let me share my presentation. So today I'm here to speak about Raydylyo caps, which are manufactured by Raymond. So I will quickly do a presentation of the company and dive into the subject of the product. So Raymond Life is a company part of the network Raymond Network, which is a network specialized in plastic injection molding for all types of components. And at Raymond Life, we focus on plastic injection for cosmetic, pharmaceutical, or medical companies to manufacture components for them. We are based in the French Alps, near Grenoble, if you may know, and we were created in 2007. We are about 80 collaborators in the company, and we just moved into our brand new facility just in early March. And so here we have an extended production capacity that is going from 20 millions a year to 70 millions by 2030, approximately. So it's a brand new area with new clean rooms, ISO 8 and ISO 7, surrounded by nature. So it's a great workplace as well. So as I said, I'll be diving in more on the product itself. So the product is injected in 3 different parts: the cap, which is made out of PP, the body made out of PBT, and the cage made out of PC. So each of these are injected in an ISO 8 clean room, and then they are going into an ISO 7 clean room for assembly and packaging. For the assembly, we are assembling the rubber stoppers that are chosen by the customer. The cap was designed around the ISO norms for vials and stopper to make sure that we target the most of the market's needs. So today, the customer chooses its own rubber stopper from any manufacturers. We mostly work with West Pharmaceuticals in this case. And once assembled, it can be packaged in different types of packagings, which I will go in more details afterwards. During our production process, we have a in-process control with camera to detect, firstly, the stopper insertion of the cap, but also the cosmetic defects that we may find on the injected parts. For any type of packaging options, we can have a sterile option, RTU, or a non-sterile option, RTS. When we provide a sterile solution, Raymond does a gamma irradiation sterilization by a subcontractor. However, if the customer wants to do a pre-sterilization or a terminal sterilization of the cap, they can do it by steam sterilization. We have validated this solution as well. Globally, what we can say about the cap, we have a simplified capping process. We have a all-in-one solution with the stopper assembled, which means we can just close the vial as is, and also just with a vertical pressure on the cap. So there is no need for a tool when we are working on a manual filling process. The cap can also be used in high-speed filling lines. So we have no issues going on bigger filling lines for bigger batches, depending on the need of the customer. We remove everything related to the crimping that we find in standard lines, meaning that we remove the particle contamination by aluminum, and we remove a step inside the process. We also have everything that is on the tamper-evident features. So it has been designed around the falsified medicines directives to make sure that once the flip-off cap is removed, you cannot put it back. So you are sure that it will not be tampered with once opened. And lastly, customers also choose it for the marketing differentiator. It has another look. So for cosmetic features, that is also sometimes important to customers to take into account. And it's also a big differentiator for customers. And last but not least, it's a great use also for medical staff. For nurses or doctors, it has a simple use. You don't need any tools to remove the aluminum like you would find on standard solutions, but also no more gloves that are damaged during the opening. I was talking about packaging solutions just before, so I will dive into this right now. This is the first solution of packaging, which is our newest one, called the S-Box. It's a solution in Achelox, which we do in bigger batches so that customer can take only a small box within a big batch. So you'll see here the quantities on the screen, but it's 400 pieces for 13 millimeter and 200 pieces for a 20 millimeter. Because it's in stock, it's on specific stopper references and specific colors. And in the case of Adelphi holding stock for us, you will find them with blue caps at Adelphi. So this is a great solution for small batches, clinical batches, or customers just wanting to try out the cap. If we were to scale up to other solutions, you would find here you have a table of all of our bulk solutions. So the S-Box, which I just presented, but also the small bag, the big bag, and the RTP bag. Currently, we provide an RTP with a Gettinger port. You'll see lots of digits here on this table, but basically it's the different sizes per bags and also the minimum order of quantity, which suits the minimum order for our sterilization subcontractor as well. So here you can also follow up a ramp up or choosing between the different manufacturing lines that you will use in your processes. Another solution, so I just presented the bulk packaging, but we also have a nested version for both sizes 13 and 20 millimeter, which were designed to suit the nest of vials available on the market, like you would have for shot, for example. So we follow the same configuration and the same layout so that we can specifically in some machines close one nest at one time. So for the Raydylyo, you will find 3 nests per 1 tub. So it's a ratio from 1 to 3 between vials and Raydylyo. And here I have the perfect example depending on different solutions for machines. And also seeing, as I said, we can go from small scale to high-speed filling lines. Here you have the perfect example from a tabletop machine to some medium filling lines and going to higher speed filling lines. And the one using the nest-to-nest version is mostly the 4th picture, who uses this technology of filling a nest of vials and closing everything at once. So we work with the main manufacturers on the market. The solution of Raydylyo is known by the manufacturers, and they either already have a solution ready, or they can also just contact us to have some specifics to do retrofittings or some changed parts to update their systems through Raydylyo caps. Globally, we followed our customers from small batches to big batches, as I said. We work with many types of companies, compounding pharmacies, also with hospitals, CMO, CDMOs, CROs. We work with biotechs in clinical phases or GMP phases, and we work with big pharmaceutical companies. Our target is to follow our customers. Some customers have both clinical developments and GMP phases. We can provide for both of these markets and follow the growth of our customer through their development and drug development. I will also speak a bit more on the regulatory side because we provide our letter of authorization to use our drug master files in the US, in Canada, and in China. So it helps for the customers to do their files for the authorities. Today, about 15 drugs have been on the market with Raydylyo, so they are in use on the markets, mainly in the US, in Europe, but also in China. And I will finish with some validation data. Please keep in mind that if you contact us after this webinar, we can have reports available for you with some more details. But for today, I just wanted to focus on the main things. So as I said in the beginning, we do our caps with gamma sterilization when we provide RTU or sterile solutions. And to make sure that our caps were suitable along a shelf life of a drug, we tested at 3 stages, so minus 80 degrees, 25 degrees, and 40 degrees Celsius. And for each of these stages of temperature, we tested over 3 years, over the course of 3 years, all the different testing you see in blue. Firstly, the dimensions. So we make sure that the cap and the plastic for each part remain stable around its shelf life. Then we test also the functionality. We test different things, but for example, to make sure that the flip-off removes as easily before and after sterilization and before and after stock in different temperatures. We test that the cap remains in place and does not just snap off. So we do these functional testings to make sure that no matter the condition, the cap remains with the same usability. About container closure integrity testings, we have 2 different tests methods. So the first being with dye ingress, the methylene blue method. And once the USP 1207 came out, we switched to the O2 headspace with the lighthouse method. So this is also a more sensitive method, so to have a bit more data on this. We also provide an extractable report with water and alcohol to make sure that the customers can find what they need in their leachables. And last but not least, we have our routine analysis for every batch, which takes into account bioburdens, particles, and endotoxins. In our certificate of conformity, along these results, we also provide the stopper certificate and the sterilization certificate for sterile caps. So globally, our shelf life are 2 years for ITU caps and 3 years for RTS. And this was all for the quick presentation on the Raydylyo. And as Luke said, if you have any questions, they can pop up in the chat.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for that, Sarah. It was a wonderful and comprehensive overview of the Raydylyo. And as Sarah mentioned, any questions, please leave them in the chat. Before we go today, I'd like to ask Sarah a couple of questions, just hopefully cover off some extra details. Starting with Sarah, why has Raymond chose Adelphi as their distributor?
Yeah, so we have been working with Adelphi since 2016. And like you said, you are now our official distributor since this year. For us, it was important to work with you as Adelphi is one of the biggest distributor around the world. And the company had great knowledge already on the ecosystem, on the fill and finish lines. And also, Adelphi is a distributor of our main partners, West and Shot. So it was a great thing to have, I think, an all-in-one shop for our customers.
Brilliant. Yes, and I know myself and the guys on the team are very excited to work with you guys closer. To move on, what was sort of the key points you believe make the closure system different to the other options on the market?
Yeah, it's basically an all-in-one solution. So we reduce for mainly when we have fill and finish lines, we reduce the footprint of the machine in the end as you remove the washing station when we provide a sterile solution, and we remove the crimping station and just have the all-in-one stoppering and capping. And also we have this flexibility around the stoppers. That's a big thing on our market to make sure that we can check between different, biocompatibilities to drugs. And one last thing that was important to us and is becoming more and more important with the Annex 1 of the GMPs, we see that we have a trend towards sterile solutions. And we see today that Raydylyo is the tailored solution for these regulatory requirements.
Absolutely. And one thing I've noted from my own personal customer experience is just how simple people are mentioning the process can be, being able to eliminate the capping station, lower ergonomic risk. This goes on. Finally, how versatile is the cap? Who do you see using this cap?
Yeah, we see that we have, this small batch to high speed filling lines, which is a great thing for all of our customers. And even for small customers, they can project themselves into the future as well with us. And as I quickly said, a thing that is very important for customers is removing the issues with aluminum particles and also cosmetic defects on aluminum crimping. Yeah.
Yes, I think myself here at Adelphi my territory spans a large area of Europe and Scandinavia, and just see customers all over from an array of different applications beginning to use this cap. Certainly. Well, Sarah, thank you very much for your time and for walking us through this cap in such detail. Certainly, hopefully everyone derives some value as much as I did from the presentation. A final reminder, guys, if you do have any last questions, please leave them in the chat, and ourselves or a Raymond Life will get back to you within 48 hours. I understand everybody has a busy schedule, so a special thank you for everybody for turning up to the session, and have a great rest of your day. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Thanks, Sarah. Bye-bye.